All right, so now we'll look at some examples of visibility into the zERT data that are provided by Intellimagic Vision. This first report shows throughput by traffic class, and the three reported here along the bottom are intra, Sysplex, local, and public, for each protocol type as they appear in the legend along the right. So in this example, most of the network data volume is local between mainframe and other platforms within the data center. And most of that local throughput is either not encrypted, the blue bar, or it's encrypted with TLS version 1.2, the yellow bar. Here's a display of the primary metrics provided by the zERT data, numbers of connections, including partially secured and short connections, and throughput in units of kilobytes and segments. And here I've filtered the reporting to just view the connections by protocol specifically for the public traffic class. If I want to inspect the details of my TLS version 1.2 protected connections, I can click on the blue bar and then select the TLS details drill down. This will generate a table with many rows, one for each unique server IP and client IP pair, with all the protection and identification attributes for each connection. So here I've selected and magnified a single row so that you can easily read all the attributes that are provided by zERT. Intellimagic Vision also simplifies this analysis by translating all the more than 600 raw codes that are found in the zERT records into readable text to describe, for example, the cipher suite, the encryption algorithms being used, the message authentication types, and so on. Now, a primary use of the zERT data is likely to be to identify and remediate unencrypted connections. So here I would click on the red none bar and drill down by server IP label. And then once I've drilled through server IP label into the specific server IPs, I get this display, and then I can drill down further to see all the client IPs that this particular server IP is connecting to. So here we see the rate of connections with all the client IPs listed across the bottom of the report from that server IP that was originally selected in the previous report. And then from here, I can drill down further on any one of these to further investigate for any specific connection by socket/job, by user ID, by port number, and so on. Now, normally I would have used a live demo to demonstrate the drill downs on these prior slides, but understandably, no one wants us demoing their unencrypted connections from their environment. So I'm going to do a live demo now, but it will be from our small internal mainframe environment. So I can't show insights into encryption here because we don't have any encrypted connections, but hopefully this brief demo will still be helpful to show the power and the flexibility of the drill down capabilities. So initially here I've selected an overview of the zERT metrics in tabular form. And so for the two types of encryption protocols here, none, and then none, which is outbound FTP. So here I can drill down into the data with no recognizable encryption to see the list of server IP addresses that are sending the data. So in this case, we've got this list of 3 here and also the traffic that's being sent. And then from here, I can look in and see which client IPs are receiving the data from that server. And so here's a list of all those. And then from here, again, I can investigate this further as I see fit. For example, maybe I want to see, well, which user ID was responsible for generating the data that was being sent between that between that server and that client. Or we can look from a graphical perspective at network throughput by encryption protocol at the Sysplex level. So again, in our environment, we just have one Sysplex. But from here, I want to drill down to explore the bulk of this non-encrypted traffic. And so initially, I'm going to drill in by server IP level, and they haven't been defined, but I'm going to just drill directly now into the server IP. So again, this data is primarily coming from the server at this IP address. And so I'd like to look and see, okay, well, which clients this server being connected to. And so we see that list of IP addresses along the bottom here, several clients receiving this unencrypted traffic. And so now I can investigate this traffic for any one of these clients, server-client pairs in a number of different ways. Perhaps I want to see the traffic across by time of day. Well, I could go back. Again, earlier we looked at the user ID, and I could look at the socket, which is the same as the job name. Here, most of that work's coming from DD2, DDF, or I could drill into this by server port number. So however I want to investigate the data, the drill downs enable me to do that very effectively. And so again, sort through what can be a significant amount of data and drill in specifically to the aspects that I want to analyze.